Good afternoon, guys. This is Daniel with Leyyon Investments, or an investment firm. And today what I want to do is bring you a trade idea on Ford stock. Now, the stock has gone down 4% today. And if you've seen my previous videos that I've uploaded on YouTube, you will come to know that my sentiment on Ford has been bearish for some reasons. We'll take a look at the technical aspect of the stock, and we'll go over some recent news. So let's get into it. As we can see on Ford stock, we have what's called a symmetrical triangle. This is a bearish symmetrical triangle where price is being resisted from a downtrending trend line. And if we draw that trend line, it forms a symmetrical triangle. A flat symmetrical triangle where the horizontal trend line is where price is being supported. And in this case, it's being supported around $11.11. We are currently near the top of this flat symmetrical triangle, where we are near the 200-day moving average. And as you can see in the past, the 200-day moving average has served as resistance, meaning that prices have gone up to meet this certain level where the 200-day SMA is, the simple moving average. And what happens? It gets rejected. There's a price retracement where, in this case, we reached support from the high of this, not the high of the stock, but the high of this rally at 1641. Now, price did bounce up to 1460, which is near the 200-day moving average once again. Here, near the 200-day moving average once again, it was simply a false breakout where it continued to respect this downtrending trend line. Now that we're near this resistance level again, near the 200-day moving average again, we can predict that the stock may head lower to reach the level of support around $11.21, give or take. Now, I want to note that this is on the daily chart. So we'll take a look at the hourly chart. And the hourly chart is very interesting. But before I do, I want to point out a head and shoulders pattern here on the daily chart, where if you're not familiar with what a head and shoulders pattern looks like, I'll show you on this notebook right here, where the price of the stock forms the first shoulder, the head, and the second shoulder, has a neckline. This is before, this is after, where once the price breaks the neckline, now this level becomes a sort of a resistance. What was one time support right here, supporting price, now becomes resistance with the break below, and the stock sells off. Now, it doesn't sell off quick like this all the time. It may come back, retest, sell off, and I have some examples that I can show you recently on a couple of stocks. First, we'll go ahead and analyze the 1 hour chart just so that you can see what we are looking at. So let me zoom out here. And this is exactly what we see. We see the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Head and shoulders pattern. Where's the neckline? A horizontal neckline. And after hours, the price broke the neckline or the support level. Now, if we look at previous price action, we see price gaps. Now, price gaps basically occur when the open of the stock is drastically different than the close of the previous candle, the prior candle. So, for example, in this case, the stock closed on this candle at 12:01, and where did it open the next day? The next day it opened at 12:10. And the next day it opened at 12.21. Excuse me, it opened at 12.14. So price gaps usually tend to get filled. They don't necessarily have to, but history shows that they usually do tend to get filled. Here's a price gap that did get filled on Ford stock. Here's another price gap that did get filled on Ford stock again. Another price gap that did get filled. And what I mean by filled, I mean that the price trends either upwards to fill the gap or downwards to fill the gap, meaning that the price will then fill that area. So now you see that there's price action in that specific area where there wasn't any price action before. So to continue, we have price gap around 1207 and another price gap around 1163. On top of the bearish head and shoulders pattern and the two price gaps that we see below this neckline, we also see a triple simple moving average crossover, which is a bearish signal. So here we see one signal, which is the head and shoulders pattern, two signals, which is the bearish simple moving average crossover, and three signals of price gaps. And the fourth signal, the break below support. So based off of this technical analysis, I predict that Ford stock can go lower to fill 1162 at least, fill this price gap at least. First target would be this price gap. Second target would be this price gap. Third target would be near this support at $11.15 per share. Now, I also want to show you another stock where we saw a head and shoulders pattern. And this stock is a pharmaceutical company called Eli Lilly. We'll wait for this to load. So we'll go to the daily chart because that's where the price, that's where the head and shoulders pattern was. This stock has been uptrending for quite some time. So you can see all the way back here since February and even before that too. So the head and shoulders pattern we can see on the daily chart right here, where we have the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, and the neckline can be plotted not horizontally. It can horizontally, where we see some support, but this head and shoulders pattern was slightly inclined, where the neckline shows that it was inclined here. Now that serves as a point because as price bounced off of this support area, right, where price was being supported before, it came back up to retest this level of now what is resistance, because we drew two lines of support, one right here and another one up here, which is the uptrending channel, right? The uptrending trend line. And so after it had reached the 50-day moving average and the 20-day moving average and the resistance trend line, price did tend to go down. Now, this was an entry point that I had after seeing that confirmation after the break of the head and shoulders, and profited on this downward move. Then I recently longed Eli Lilly stock at this level, I'm not sure exactly where, and I sold up here at 375 just for a short-term swing trade. Now for Eli Lilly stock, I'm looking for a price retracement to come down to at least to the area of the 20-day moving average. By that time that it happens, we may see the 50-day moving average a little higher, which is why I put the buy zone around this level to continue longing this stock as its overall direction is uptrending, as you can see if we zoom out a bit here. It's been uptrending for quite some time, so that's why I am looking for bullish moves on the stock versus bearish moves. The reason why I shorted over here was because I saw the head and shoulders pattern, and that could have been a possibility that this stock may have gone down. since it has an overvalued PE ratio, which is the price of the stock compared to the earnings of the company. A high PE ratio shows that the price of the stock is higher than what it should be valued at compared to what the earnings of the company are. So going back to Ford stock, today it went down 4% like I previously stated, and I am looking forward to seeing where this price goes in the future. Looking for some price gaps on the daily chart here, where we see one here at this level. Let me zoom in there for you guys to see, and then we'll conclude. So here there's a price gap that has not gotten filled at $5 per share, and I wouldn't be surprised if this stock goes to $5 per share. You know, Ford is trying to compete with their F-150, the electric F-150, and Tesla and other companies are taking a large market share of the electrical vehicle market. So we'll have to see what the future holds for Ford. But I appreciate you watching this, and if you found value in this video, consider liking and subscribing. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me in the contact details down below. I have my phone number and my email, and as well as a Discord link if you'd like to join an investment community that I am building. So I appreciate that. And if you'd like, you can follow me on Twitter, where I post a lot of technical analysis charts in real time as I come across them. This is my profile, Daniel_Ayala Jr. You'll find that in the description as well. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. Have a good rest of your day.